Hey, Chris.
Hey, Rod, what's up?
Hey, question for you.
Uh-huh.
What do you do when you lose your spouse or your significant in your 40s? How do you move forward?
Well, lucky enough, we're going to talk to somebody today who's going to help us answer that question.
Great. Hey, this is Rod.
And this is Chris.
We are Unqualified
And Unsupervised.
the show where two guys try to figure out life after loss with no experts, no scripts, just experience.
We're going to have the unfiltered conversations about hard topics that no one wants to talk about, but everyone should. Coming from a couple of guys who were forced to join a club we didn't want to join. Rod, what's going on this week? Did you have a good week?
It was a very interesting week.
Oh, yeah? Why is that?
Well, a lot of interesting things happened. I helped with a funeral this week.
Of course you did.
And then my friend, Angel, was in a MMA fight on Saturday night.
Oh, did she win?
He did not win.
He didn't?
He did not win. But you know what? My takeaway from that evening is I went for dinner.
Uh-huh.
And the couple across the aisle from me were on a first date. And it was not going well for the guy. I kind of intervened a little bit, and I started talking to the lady.
It's like watching a car crash.
It's bad.
You just can't look away.
I think maybe that should be one of our sessions. The grief after a first date.
Oh, a bad first date.
Well, no, because he's not asking her any questions. I leaned across and I said, "Excuse me, ma'am."
Oh boy.
I said, "I'm a hairdresser." And I said, "I love your hair." I think she lit right up. Oh, I wasn't going to come out tonight. Okay. Now I'm going to preface this. She is black, and I know how black women treasure their hair. I mean, they do not leave the house if their hair looks bad.
Okay, sure.
And she goes, "Oh, I wasn't going to come out. I see my hairdresser next week." Da 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 da. And I thought this guy's going to pick up on it. No, he doesn't get it at all.
Oh boy.
So anyway, we talked for a little bit. I finished my meal. He got up to go to the restroom, and as I got up to leave, I went, "Psst." And she was like, I said, "It's not going well." She's, "Oh no." And she starts laughing because I wanted to tell the guy, she's not going home with you tonight. And she's ghosting
probably.
And she's ghosting you tomorrow.
Right.
And I should have given her my card because I'm wondering how the evening went. You know, now if she had gone to the bathroom, I would have intervened and said, "Buddy, you're blowing this."
Right.
You know,
just ask a question or two. Start there.
He admits he's had 4 marriages. They knew each other in high school.
Ooh.
Yeah. Okay. This is not going well for you, buddy.
All right.
So anyway,
I see a new business on the horizon for you. A dating.
I should sit in a restaurant
consultant.
Sit in a restaurant and eavesdrop on conversations and help the couple. That would be a good reality show.
Yeah, we
Chris,
got enough reality shows.
I think we got our next career.
We got enough reality shows.
But other than that, I feel bad that Angel didn't win.
Okay.
So what about you? What happened?
Well, had a good time this weekend. We did the Easter keg hunt.
That's right.
Lake Time Brewery, not egg, keg.
Yep.
So
I've
they
heard
hide
about that.
empty beer kegs around town. They hid 8 of them, so they're like the soda keg size.
They hid empty ones?
Yeah, empty ones, like the soda keg ones.
Yeah.
Sized ones, right? Little 5-gallon ones.
Yeah.
They hide them around town. Then starting at 1 o'clock, they start dropping riddles that are clues as to where they are.
Oh, okay.
And so you got to figure out the riddle, and then you go there and you pick up the empty and you bring it back and you get a prize.
Oh.
Right? So, yeah, it's the 5th year I think they've done that. And so it was fun, and we went out on the first one and we weren't quite right.
Right.
And then I was like, "Oh, no. It's over by the tennis courts. That's what that is." So we run over there quick and then one of the teams that we were working with got that one.
Okay.
And then the second one came out and I was like, "Oh, the butterfly sundial. That's over at Fieldstone." And we were
out
behind
in Fieldstone, yeah. Because there's a sundial actually in Central Gardens too.
Yes, but this is the butterfly one that they put at the playground at Fieldstone Park.
Got it. Okay.
Right. And so then we got there just behind somebody else. And they got that one. And so then we were like, "Okay, where should we go stage and wait for the next clue?" Because they drop every 15 minutes, right?
Okay.
And so we were going to stop at the school parking lot. And I thought, no, he might have something on the other side of town. We should maybe gamble and go out a little ways.
Right. Anticipate.
And so we got over by the pool kind of, and the third one dropped. And I looked at it and go, "Oh God, shit, that's the Abraham Lincoln Memorial at the cemetery." I'm like, go, right? So we take off. And as we're coming by the high school, we see cars pulling into the cemetery.
Oh,
right?
wow.
And I was like, "No, go up to 7th Ave North and come around the other side."
Yeah.
Don't follow them in.
Yeah.
Okay. So we go up there and we get out, and I'm stuck in the third row back seat. So I'm waiting for Amy to get out of the way so I can get out.
Right.
And as I get out, Todd gets out of the front seat and he starts kind of jogging.
I know who you're with now. I got it. Yeah.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
I get out of the car and I look up and there's a car pulling up on the other side closer than we are.
Right.
And I was like, oh no, motherfucker, you're not getting this one. Right. So I take off dead sprint across the cemetery. So I'm flying, I'm hurdling headstones, and I'm just booking it across. Right. And just left Todd in the dust. And as I'm coming up on the memorial, I hear, no. And there's this lady like 10 yards, just too short. And I ran up, and without even slowing down, I hooked the keg, made a U-turn around the memorial.
Yeah.
And I ran back to the car with it over my head like Rocky going up into the Philadelphia Museum of Art steps. And it was like, woo, we got ours.
That's funny.
So that was a good time. So my team was pretty glad that I trained for triathlons, while I don't think the other team appreciated it quite as much.
Right. You know that, just a quick piece of trivia, of the antiquities in Clear Lake, that is the one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because it's a one of a kind.
Yep.
I think the artist did them in granite, and I think this was in concrete or something. It's special.
Right.
It is of all the antiques that Clear Lake would possess. Right. That's the one.
Yeah.
And people drive by it all the time. They have no idea.
Yep. So I know that was it. So
we had a good week.
Here we go. We did. So here we go.
All right,
Rod. Today I'm kind of excited.
What are you excited about?
So we're going to talk to our guest, Ed Halbach. So
yeah. Ed's a great guy. I don't know if I ever told you this, but I met him in the gym.
No, you did not.
And for whatever reason, we started talking about cheesecake, and he goes, "Oh, I have this friend in Osage that makes it." So we had a cheesecake competition in the gym.
Okay.
So I brought a cheesecake. He brought a cheesecake.
Seems like the appropriate place to have a cheesecake competition.
There's a photograph of me on the rower. Eating cheesecake. Yeah, in the gym. Yeah, it's a great story.
So you are a cake eater.
Pretty much, absolutely.
Also, you can't out exercise a bad diet, right?
This is true. But no, Ed's a great guy, and for years we talked about doing a podcast, and finally last fall we did the podcast, which was really cool.
Yeah, because Ed has his own podcast.
The Ed
Halbach show.
Yes, and
Ain't no Halbach. Ed, something like that.
Yeah. But anyway, he's interested in the fact that he's owned businesses. He's an entrepreneur, and he's a motivational speaker as well. And his stories about the losses of his life are so profound. The many losses in this very short amount of time.
Right.
And
they all hit at the same time.
They did. And his resilience and how do you get through all of that is so important. His story is so great. Right. And so I'm really looking forward to hearing, those stories and walking through and having him walk us through, because we're just behind him, just like so many years.
Right.
And I think we can always learn for the people that have been where we are.
Absolutely. I mean, that's kind of why we're here.
Right. And I find myself doing that for younger people now. When I hear them, I'm here to tell you, I'm 20 years ahead of you. This is going to work out for you.
Right.
I want to reassure you what you're worried about. So Ed's been really good about that in the gym and helping me get through things. And I know when he did the podcast with you, I don't know, your experience with him was really good.
Yeah, it was fabulous. The guy's got a wealth of experience, and he's really good at articulating what that experience was, how he felt about it, and what he did to get through it.
Right,
and I think we can glean a lot of really good experience from him today.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too.
Well, today on our Rodcast, we have a friend of ours, Ed Halbach, who had the Ed and Halbach show. And this is how we kind of got our start with the podcast.
Yeah, it's kind of Ed's fault that we're here.
Pretty much, yeah. He's guilty. No, a couple of years ago, he said, Rod, we should do a podcast. And I said, okay. A couple of years go by. Finally, I pushed it. And so we got together last fall. And Ed asked, it was more about my coming out and my fitness journey. And during the course of that conversation, I learned that he'd lost his wife, and I know the whole story. And I said, you've got to meet my friend Chris, because he has a very similar story. So anyway, then you two did a podcast.
We did, about the forward wellness coaching for caregivers. For health and wellness coaching for cancer patient caregivers.
Right. Had you started your book then?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep, I was into the book too.
Well, and that led to a 3 podcast of grief and 3 men talking about the loss of grief. So today we're returning the favor to Ed and making him the victim. I mean the guest of the show. Welcome, Ed. Glad you're here. Glad you could join us.
How are you doing, Ed?
You know what? I wanted to interrupt you two so much in the last 2 minutes because. Yeah, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on the show. I hope and be serious for a minute if you guys can. And sit on a whoopee cushion or something. I just hope that people listening today, they've heard your guys' story, they'll hear my story, that they can glean some hope for the future in their life if they have to go through what we've gone through.
That's absolutely
that's our goal. Like, how do we help people walk through this journey that we're part of a club that we didn't want to be part of, you know?
Right.
And in my case, I'm unqualified. In Chris's case, he's unsupervised. So,
yeah.
So Ed, walk us through this. Start telling us your story. Like, what happened?
My story?
Yeah.
Where should I start?
Well, you met this beautiful woman,
Julie
and you married
Andrews
her.
says, start at the very beginning. It's a very good place to start.
Right.
Exactly.
Okay. So, no, I was married for 22 years, and Therese passed away from colon cancer. She was 42, which is very young. And I had to move on by myself. We had no children. We were workaholics. And I had to figure things out. And, you know, you think you can figure things out on your own, but other people influence how you figure things out. Does that make sense?
It does.
It does. And so who did you have then in your life that influenced your figuring out?
Well, she had a ton of friends, and I got to adopt those friends. Just what do I want to say here? Just because we were married, right? And everybody came to me with a different point of view, a different spin on what she would want or you know, how it was going. She was ill for 2.5 years, and she told me in her last few weeks, she gave me marching orders. She said, go out, continue to be successful, enjoy life, and get married again if you want to.
That's so important.
It is. It's very important that you leave marching orders for the person you know is going to be off this face of the earth.
Permission.
Because permission. It gave me the opportunity to go on a first date about 10 months later. And I went with a ton of guilt.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why.
Yeah,
I called her sisters and told her I was going out on a date.
And how did they react?
Good for you, Ed. Good for you.
Wow.
See,
good. I didn't necessarily get that.
See,
right away.
I jumped in because I remember, for those of you who are just listening, I lost my partner of 16 years from COPD 3 years ago. And we were sitting in the living room one day, and he looked at me and he said, Rod, he said, if something happens, he says, I want you to go on. And I looked at him and I said, if something happens, I want you to go on. But he's like, Rod, I said, no, we're not out of this. Anything could happen to me. I want you to know we gave each other permission to move on. So when those opportunities did happen, I did take advantage of a couple, but I also let his daughters know. And they were both supportive. It's like, Rod, it's been a year. You go. They, I asked him, I said, how do you feel about me dating? And they said, we're for it. So I was lucky. I had the support, but like you said, not everybody gets that.
No, and the question I have is, so of the intimate conversations you had with her about what she wanted for you, did her family and friends understand that and see it the same way?
Absolutely. Every single one, at least that I know. Nobody looked at me crossways and was afraid to approach me and say, what the hell do you think you're doing?
Wow.
Stepping out.
That's
because they see that's just honoring the memory of that person.
Yeah.
But people,
I was thrilled I got the marching orders. I was sad I got the marching orders.
Sure.
But, you know, I've been married 18 and a half years now.
That's
and
fabulous.
I'm an old man. And, you know, I'm happy as I've ever been.
It's a different happy, though.
Well, yeah, it's like my wife, you know, she goes, well, what about, you know, Teresa's family and that, you know, I said, they're fine. They're fine. We've talked about it. She will always be in my heart, but she's just going to have to move over for you.
That's perfect.
That's good.
There's always enough room. If it's true love, there's enough room. But no, I was going to go circle back just a quick second when we talked about how friends not understanding that it's time for you to get out and or whatever it is for you, you know, because they think you're disrespecting your wife. And the truth of the matter is that's not what is really going through their head. You're disrespecting the friends and the family. They just don't realize that. They think that you're not honoring what they remember and what they think things should be. Because my friends were totally okay with it. My family was not.
Oh, interesting. Well, see, there's a point that people don't realize, and they're very judgmental in the fact that you have no idea the conversations people have had in those moments. Those are private conversations between you and your spouse. That was a private conversation between Jeff and me. And if they were going to judge me, fuck them.
Right, exactly. I finally had to come out and tell some of my family and be like, I had the conversation with her. You don't know. Back off.
You weren't there.
Yep, exactly. So I'm glad you didn't have to deal with that.
Well, thank you. And that's hard for some people. And I really thought I would. Like I said, I did ask for permission from her family to go on a date. And it was, in fact, I even stopped on my way because the date was out of state and I was traveling for business too.
Oh, is that what we call it? Traveling for business? Yeah. I was traveling for business.
I'm a road salesman.
Yeah. Crossing state lines. Go on.
All right, I'm going to take the gloves off here.
Yes.
Because this isn't my show, damn it.
It is not.
So anyway, I stopped to see his friend of mine. I called him. I says, hey, I'm coming through, you know, and you want to meet for lunch? And he says, sure. Right across the road from where I work. I said, good, you're buying. I bought last time. We just had coffee. I said, you're still buying. So we had lunch and I told him, I says, yeah, 48 hours from now, I have a date and I'm nervous. And he says, well, good for you. Really? Yeah. And I said, I really don't know why this woman wants to go out with me. It was in another state and we were set up by somebody in California. And
wow.
It's like, okay, why? And he goes, Ed, think about it. Number one, you're a character. Number two, you're successful. Number three, you have no baggage. You got the biggest target on your back of any woman out there that wants to meet somebody. I said, I do? I didn't know it. I was oblivious to that.
I think a lot of guys are oblivious about a lot of things.
You and me both.
Do we want to talk about that in a little bit?
No.
Oh, okay. Anyway, no, I think guys are clueless on many levels. Anyway, but here you go. You're crossing state lines, and you're going on the state.
Yeah. So we went on a date. We went out for pizza. Had a good time. It was fun, and it was fun to have conversation with no expectations, or not going to run into anybody local that would know me. That was huge as well.
Right.
You have that little bit of guilt.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And
so what made you think? What made you think? Because first dates are really important. And like how do you gauge them? Are they a coffee date? Are they a pizza date? Do you spend a lot of money? Because I was in a restaurant on Saturday night and I was witnessing a first date and someone said, oh, I wouldn't have gone to that restaurant. Well, it's a medium level restaurant. It was a nice meal. It's warm. It's cozy. I probably would have gone there too on a first date. But it just raises the question, what's an acceptable first date? We can explore that too. But for some odd reason, she was okay with that, a pizza date.
It was her idea. I don't live there.
Better
I don't
yet.
know. let's just go out for pizza. I said, works for me.
Right.
Keep it simple.
Right.
No, yeah,
right.
like you said, no expectations, no pressure. Just go hang.
Right. Going back to 1,000 words ago when one of us said something, which was probably minutes or less. Right, Rod?
Yes.
Anyway.
Yes.
This
is going to be bad for me, isn't it? It's go on. I'm sorry.
You're good.
Who does the editing, you or Chris?
Oh, Chris. Absolutely.
I do. Don't worry.
I do nothing electronically. If Chris were not here, this would not exist. He is literally the wind beneath our wings. Absolutely.
Okay.
Aww.
It's true.
You've been to too many funerals. Anyway, now I got to grab my train of thought. You guys mess with me.
A thousand words ago when I said something.
Yeah. Oh, people want to judge
you, Ed. I was listening. I was listening. Go.
Thank you.
He's trying.
Oh man, I'm trying to get a word in.
Okay, a thousand words ago. Yes.
Okay, you've said that 3 times. I got it. Not 3,000 words. Okay, so you learn to live your own life for you and not what other people think.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You'll be the happiest that way, and don't worry about being judged, because a lot of times people that judge you are just jealous, or that's the way they think it should be, but they're not in your shoes. And then let's go back to the conversation you have with your spouse who passed away. They weren't sitting there for that conversation, as one of you two clowns just said 1,500 words ago.
Right. People are very judgy, but they weren't there for the conversation. They don't know. That was, that 2:00 in the morning conversation that you have with this person that is looking at their mortality. It's really tough. Right.
Well, and people have their preconceived notions of how things are supposed to be.
Right.
And
yes.
And if they don't see that, then you're wrong. Period.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's human nature, isn't it? And we're all guilty of it to a degree, even though we try not to. But we are.
Oh yeah, I catch myself doing it too. But at least I try to catch myself and stop myself.
Right.
But it doesn't always happen.
No, it does not.
Well, that's the one thing about working in the funeral business. You see things that you don't always agree with, but you realize this is their thing. This is their journey. This is I see funerals all the time, but this is their first funeral or their second funeral. They're not, they don't know. So if they want to, play in the garden or whatever, or, because grandma liked it, fine. It's their journey. And I think people need to look at it. It's our journey, we have to look at ourselves in the mirror. When I first went out with, Jeff, or after Jeff, I didn't have any guilt at all. Not 1 ounce.
Good for you.
Anyway, he wanted me to. And here, Ed, I got a question for you. If you flipped this and you had died and she had lived, what would you have wanted for her?
Same thing.
Because
no doubt in my mind.
I've been playing that a lot in my head lately. Like, I'm 3 years out, and where would Jeff be in the same process? Mm-hmm. And I would be absolutely happy for him. In fact, Jeff is a little bit more promiscuous than me, and I say that in the very kindest way. Jeff would have had a date before we left the church. No, he would. I mean, people glommed onto him. He was very popular, And I always joked with him. I said, Jeff, you'll have a date before you leave the church. And I truly do believe that by this point, I think he probably would have had 2 or 3 relationships with people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's all right.
Well, let's throw another ringer in. What happened to me?
Okay.
Yeah.
I got a visit from some priests from Dubuque, Iowa, because I'm Catholic.
Okay.
And our local priest calls me up, because he was there through it all. Nice young guy, similar to one of your upcoming guests, Father Josh.
Yep.
And he would come by the house all the time, make sure everybody had coffee. He was making coffee because Therese wanted to die at home. And the last month, my house was like a open door, people coming and go and everything else.
That would be rough.
So all of a sudden he calls me up. He says, "Hey, there's a couple friends of mine in town. Do you mind if we come over for coffee?" "No, come on over. What time you come?" "No, we'll be there, about 9:00. "Okay, perfect. they walk in, they introduce, I listened to them a little bit, and I said, let's get rid of the elephant in the room, right? I am being recruited. I am honored, but no thank you.
They wanted you to join the Franciscan order or whatever it is.
So was this the equivalent of ding dong? My name is Elder Smith. The Mormons at your door coming. Hey, we're gonna get you.
We'll know it next time we see him. He's wearing a white shirt and a black tie and black pants. And carrying a briefcase. Yeah, we'll know. Well, that's an interesting twist. You didn't see that coming though, did you?
No, I didn't. I was really honored that I would be considered.
Yeah, but you know that's a celibate life, right?
Right.
Not everybody's made for that. Oof.
That's why I said no.
Good decision. Yeah,
I think so. I said, I'm happy as a clam now.
Right. But that's a big that could be a question for Father Josh about that part of
there
it.
You go.
Yeah. Because that's being a priest is a huge commitment. You know, you really give up your life. Technically,
yes,
you know, because it's completely supposed to be the service of others.
So hang on a second here. So I can get this, wrap my head around this. Your wife is not
dead. Don't choke yourself on the telephone cord.
Oh, jeez.
It isn't that bad.
I think I know where you're going to go with this. Go.
Your wife is not even dead yet, and they're already trying to recruit you into a celibate life.
You put the cart before the horse there. You didn't pay attention to the timeline.
Nope, I didn't. I missed something there.
That's all right. I'll straighten you out.
Wait a minute.
I know you will.
No, because I got that too. I thought they were coming over and having coffee because she was still there. She was still with you.
No. Our local priest was there a lot and made coffee and served coffee, and then months afterwards.
Yeah. See, I didn't get that.
I missed
part
the
either.
months.
Yeah,
sorry.
Well, your audience probably got it, but
they probably that's because they're smarter.
I
than
was
we
just
are.
going to say they're smarter.
Did you not notice we're unqualified? We don't know what the hell we're doing.
Exactly. We don't
even know why they gave us microphones.
Well, because I thought that too. I was like, wait a minute, she's not even gone, and they're recruiting you.
Yeah,
that's pretty.
But even so, still months afterward, you're still pretty vulnerable and still dealing with some stuff.
Masturbation is still part of the equation, at least.
Whoa!
Hey, unqualified, unsupervised. Yeah. These are unrehearsed.
Hey, you know what? You do you.
Are you two in the same room?
We are.
You don't want to know.
Oh boy.
We have alcohol. That makes it even
worse.
Afraid to. Well, I was afraid to ask that question. I know you were. Here's the deal, Ed. I get screwed because Chris is straight. I'm gay. Either way, it's not gonna go.
All right then.
Okay, and your point is. Either way, it's not going to go. We weren't asking that question.
We're being
that wasn't in the script.
We're being very
so
good.
Anyway, it's a beautiful day outside. Did you see the weather? It's really nice and sunny. And so they tried to recruit you, and they didn't.
Yes.
And then where'd we go? And then what happened?
I had another date with somebody else.
Nice. Look at you go.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, let's go back. Okay, so this isn't. These are different women, not your wife. This is before you met your wife.
Catching on.
Oh, geez.
You're catching on.
Yes.
Wow.
Catching up.
Got it. Okay.
Not only is it not his wife, it's not his current wife either.
That's right.
Right. Okay. All right. Jeez. Some of us take a little bit longer, but we're getting there.
My current wife asked me out when I was in the dentist chair.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, so tell us that story. How you're going in for a cavity or whatever? Like you're like hey,
no, it was just cleaning. I had just been in China for three weeks on a buying trip. For that's what they call it, a business trip, right, Rod?
Yes, yes.
And I come
something
home
about the Great Wall is coming to mind. I'm sorry. There's Ed, and then there's the Great Wall. You take it for what you want to do, but anyway, go on.
Are you done?
Maybe.
Yeah, that's true. So I just came back from there. I had like 2 feet of mail in my office because I had still some businesses to, how do I want to say it? To eliminate? No, to Diverse? No, that's the wrong. Whatever. You guys know. The audience knows what I mean. You guys won't catch on. And I all of a sudden this little postcard falls out that, oh, you have your annual teeth cleaning or 6-month teeth cleaning. I don't know what schedule I was on. So I went there, and the hygienist, who was not my current wife, was talking to me, and she said, "So Ed, what's new?" I was like, "Well, I just came back from China. You probably find some rooster feet in between my teeth as you pick it out. They eat weird stuff over there." And yada yada yada. And she says, "Well, are you dating anybody?" I says, "No, not currently." I says, "I'm just, I like to meet new people, and I'm still trying to figure things out, and it's all good." And then my wife Barb was the lady that takes the numbers, the dental assistant, and the gal goes, "Well, Barb's going to take your numbers down, and we're going to, how they probe your teeth and all this stuff." And took the numbers, and I said, "Okay." And I said, "Thanks, Barb," and she was off, and we get all done with the cleaning. The doctor checked it out, and of course I have great teeth, and she knows that. And
teeth are important. Good teeth are important. Yep.
Yeah. She stood in front of me with a Post-it note. She says, "I like to meet new people too. Here's my phone number. Call me if you want to go out for coffee."
Even I would have figured that one out.
Yeah. That
and I have a long and storied there's a history of not figuring out when women are hitting on me.
Jeez.
Well, I have instances where I didn't realize that either, but nobody had ever blatantly given me their phone number.
That's funny.
So anyway, she gives me the phone number, and I had to get back home, and I was speaking to National Honor Society inductees at a high school that night in southern Minnesota in another business trip. And so I go there, I give my speech. I felt good about it afterwards. And it was one of those nights I had nobody to call, Usually I would call my wife or, something like that. And it's like, oh,
sure.
Shit. And then it's like, oh, wait, I have this Post-it note with this Barb's phone number on it. I'm going to call her. So I'm in my car on my way home, and I call her, and she goes, "Wow, that was fast." I said, "Here's the deal. I have 9 employees. I have a lot of things going on. I got 200 customers for a company I represent, and I deal with things in a quick manner. Do you want to have coffee or not?" So we met for
so romantic.
We met. Yeah, that's Ed. We met for coffee the following Sunday at 2:00 at Jitters in Mason City, Iowa.
Okay.
I know where that is.
So I want to go back just a little bit. It sounds like you
good. I do too.
A leading diverse life. So these businesses, because you're telling us 1 minute you're in China, and the next thing you're addressing honor society kids in a high school. What? Yeah. How? This is very diverse. What were these businesses?
My late wife and I owned a wholesale company. We grew 150,000 African violets annually and owned 2 flower shops.
Oh my gosh!
Wow,
so
that's a big garage.
You're familiar with the funeral business?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've been in the back doors of more funeral homes than in the front doors.
I think that's good.
I'm sure there's an inappropriate response to that. Something about the backdoor thing to the gay guy. But anyway,
I was thinking more in terms of it's your funeral you're coming in for.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, one of us is.
Yes, one of us is.
Which one of you are gay and which one's straight?
Well, it's hard to tell sometimes, isn't
it? we're gender fluid. Yeah, don't get your fluid on me. Have you heard that?
Jesus.
Yeah. How much have you fed him, Chris?
Not nearly enough, it sounds like.
But no, but
I gotta get his blood sugar up.
I guess. But no, that's interesting. Okay, so why were you addressing this high school group?
Because I wanted to be a professional motivational speaker.
Oh, how'd that go? When are you going to start?
Some of them were good, some of them not so good, and I ended up that I didn't want to embarrass myself. It wasn't the right time.
Right.
I'm thinking about revisiting that again.
What about Toastmasters? What about Toastmasters for you?
I like toast. I'm hooked on sour bread toast with a lot of butter on it and a little avocado.
That is real good. That's real good.
That's as close to Toastmasters as you're going to get.
I could master one of those things in a heartbeat. Absolutely.
Oh, they're delicious.
Well, I did do Toastmasters, and it's very beneficial. I put a plug in for them for people who are concerned about public speaking. Toastmasters is great training. So I wondered maybe you had gone through their courses about that.
I had not. I thought I just didn't have the time.
Right. What about now, though?
Another thing is, now I like to stay busy, and I keep myself very busy.
Yeah, we've noticed.
So,
yeah.
You're a hard man to get a hold of.
I always answer my texts. It's just a hard time to pin me down.
Exactly.
Right. Yep. Okay.
And I'm not a wrestler, so I don't like to get pinned.
So you have these careers. Your wife passes away. You're dating again. Things develop with you and Barb, to a point. Like, how long did you date, and when did you decide that you loved each other, and when did you decide that you wanted to make this commitment of marriage again? Because a lot of people ask those questions, like, when's appropriate? Like how much time after the loss of someone, is an appropriate time to do that? Because there was one gentleman here in town, his wife died from cancer, and 6 months later he was married. And that was his children didn't agree with it, blah, blah, blah. There was
That's tough.
Well, but the thing is, there it is, that conversation they had. Mm-hmm. This guy could build you a multi-million-dollar house. Beautiful, beautiful. Couldn't boil water. And his wife knew that.
Sure.
He could, anything around the house like that, he couldn't do. He could build you the house, but he couldn't, so he did. He found some, and there they are. How many years later, they're still, he and this lady are still together.
Sure.
Sure. But it was 6 months, and people were up in arms about it. It's like, no.
If it's right for you, it's right for you.
Right. So
where's your question for Ed?
Well, my question is like, what are the appropriate times? Like, how long did you date, and how did this develop, and how did you know that she was the next one, and that love was in the air, and I'm thinking of a Carpenter song right now.
You know what Archie Bunker used to say to Edith? Stifle. Okay, let me tell you a story here.
All right.
The local newspaper here, the Globe Gazette, did a feature article on me after my wife passed away, and I kept the shops open and all of this. And they wrote a nice article about me, how I'm moving forward. I don't know if you've heard those words before. Forward moving.
Yeah, couple times.
I got in the paper, and I'll bet I got 20 phone calls within 10 days of people asking similar questions. Not wanting my answers, because I wasn't in a relationship with anybody, but they said, I just started chemo. When will my hair fall out? They'd ask me.
Oh,
they'd ask me when should I start dating again? Or the only question I could answer, depending on who was calling me for what, was make sure you have permission with your spouse if you think you want to read, because that's important. We went down that road, 18 minutes ago, but what I would tell people, there's absolutely no right answer. No right answer. Nobody else's damn business. I had a phone call during the day once from one of the companies I represent out east, and she says, "Can you take a personal phone call in the evening?" And I go, "I will." From who? Well, me. Oh, okay. And I thought, where's this going?
Right.
Well, it turns out, because she's a lot younger than me too.
Everybody is.
Thank you, Rod.
Hey, okay. Now, when you did your shows, there was
sarcasm. Wait. I gotta finish this.
All right, yes. Sarcasm. Go.
Let him go.
So she calls that night, and I answered the phone, and she goes, "Hey, this is Shannon." I go, "Yeah, Shannon, what's up? You want to talk?" She goes, "Yeah. My mom passed away, and I wanted to know what's the appropriate time for my dad to date somebody or that." And I said, there's no answer to that. No right time. Well, my mom passed away 6 months ago, and his secretary just moved in with him.
Oh.
I said, I don't have an answer for you.
How did she feel about that? Did she tell you how she felt?
She was upset.
Clearly, that's why she called and asked you.
She thought it was too soon.
Yeah. She was looking for answers. And I said, I can't give you one. I don't know your dad. I don't know his secretary. I didn't want to say I don't know what was going on beforehand.
Right.
You know?
But that's the assumption, unfortunately.
It could be suspect.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Shannon, I cannot answer that. That's between you and your father if you disagree.
No, the only right answer about the dating thing is, I think, is it's not about time, it's about person.
Absolutely.
It's about who you met and how you get along and what your relationship is. It's not about how long it took to get there.
Nope.
I'm going to throw out something. When I went through my divorce, really? I talked to a friend who was a psychologist, a therapist, and I said, "What's the time frame?" And she said, "In my case, she said, you give yourself a month for every year you were together." And I was married for almost 21 years, so I gave myself 20 months. Before I even thought about it. And that was a good healing time. And I did a very similar thing with Jeff. We were together for 16 years. I worked through a lot of things in that year and a half afterward. I didn't, I'm not saying I didn't go on a date or whatever, but that to me was the rule of thumb. I mean, if someone wants to go down that way, give themselves, if you've been married for 40 years, for example, you're going to want to give yourself some time. But it's not us to say that's just a guideline. It's not the rule. It's just a guide.
Well, I think it depends on if you're going out looking just to fill time with somebody so you're not alone,
right? Or
if you actually meet the right person.
But if you're 60 years old, you can't give yourself 4 years or whatever.
No, you can't.
And I think
you're right. You're older than 60.
Well, no, but okay, but that raises a question in my mind.
Don't say no, but. Yes, you are.
It's true. It's true.
And I'm not.
Okay, but the age of the person does matter, because I've known couples that they knew each other, they went on 1 or 2 dates, and they were together. I mean, they're in their 60s, 70s, and their rationale was, why do we wait? We know. We don't have the time.
That's because it's the right person.
Right, but we don't have the luxury of time.
Right.
And it worked out.
And you don't need it if it's the right person.
Okay, so you're talking about grief and how long should you grieve, right?
Yes.
Sure.
I felt a little bit guilty starting the date. As I said, I called her family and told them, hey, I got a date, we're going out for pizza. Yeah, they're all happy for me. But I still felt kind of guilty. So a friend of mine, I said something to him probably 7-8 years ago. Okay. So Barb and I had been married quite a while yet, and I said, I still felt guilty that I started dating and going out and enjoying life, which was what I was told to do after that. And he goes, how long was she ill? I said, we knew for 2.5 years she had less than a 5% chance of making it to 5 years.
Right.
He says, well, you grieved for 2.5 years already before she passed.
Pre-grief.
Exactly.
Was that your experience too, Chris?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because I had 5 years of illness.
Wow.
Yeah, that makes sense then.
Yep, absolutely. And I also tried to live the way I would have wanted her to live.
Right.
If I had gone.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. That's why I was asking, like if this had been reversed and I had died, where would I want Jeff to be? And how far along would I want him to be? So it does ask that question. I didn't have that time. I think the last year of Jeff's life was really the more traumatic. I mean, we knew we had his diagnosis, but the last year was when he had all the medical stuff bumped around. And I think Chris and I are going to talk about that, the year of lasts and the year of firsts. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that was your experience, Ed, knowing that she was sick. Were you thinking about this is going to be the last 4th of July? This is going to be the last.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
in fact, this past weekend was Easter, right?
Yes.
2 days ago. Oh, yesterday, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And the last Easter, and this would have been 10 months before she passed away. She said, I want to make a crown. What do they call that? Crown roast.
Oh yeah.
Where all the bones are sticky. Yeah. She says, I want to make a crown roast. I've never made one. And it's an old school Easter tradition. And this will be my last one.
Wow. So she was thinking it too.
Oh, well, the writing was on the wall.
See, I don't think Jeff did. It wasn't until, I mean, he had a couple medical things from January, but it wasn't until like Memorial Day when I realized this could be the last birthday, the last Memorial Day, the last 4th of July. And it was, but I kept it to myself. With Jeff, I wanted to stay with puppies and kitties. You know, I mean, we had enough tough conversations, but it was like, he knows. I don't want to dwell on it. Let's laugh. Let's do all the things we want to do the best we can.
Right.
So, but I think people don't realize it's like, and then it's the year of the firsts. Like, what was that like for you? You know, that first Easter then after she passed away.
Can't remember that one, Rod. That was a long time ago. Okay. And I'm an old man now.
Well, but
I did think of it. I did think of it yesterday.
Right. So like a delayed.
And life is full of firsts and lasts.
Yes.
All through your life. There's the first day of school, the last day of school, the first time you took a drink of beer, you know, the last time if you quit, or scotch or whatever.
Right.
First time you smoked a cigarette. And then when you said this was stupid, I can't afford it. And, you know, for first and last in life, all the time. First car, last car. I just told my stepson the other day, he says, you got a lot of miles in that car. I said, yeah, I'm thinking what I should do next, because it'd probably be my last car, because my miles will go down. And, you know, I'm not a young man anymore.
You're not going to drive.
Goes, wow, I never thought of it that way.
But what a profound statement. I guess I'd never thought about it like that. Like, yes, there's lots of firsts and lasts through our whole entire life. But
I think it's different when you're in your 40s. And and the commitment you made was till death do us part. And holy shit, here it is already.
The death part.
Yeah. Well, and for first and last.
Yeah.
You know, like the last vacation we ever took with the boys was out to the Black Hills. And we knew that was it. That was going to be the last one. She was not going to go on another one.
Well, that's what I mean. These first and last are more significant than the average daily first and last.
Right.
These hold
a lot of
there. Yes,
they're still there.
Not as significant.
They hold a lot of weight, and the memory is there.
But I think I cherish my first and my lasts now more.
Yeah.
I pay more attention to them. I savor them more.
And even people that don't belong to the club, by the way, Rod, your dues are overdue. You don't belong to the club that we're in.
What form of bottle do my dues have to take?
Oh, boy.
I think you're getting a text message.
Oh, okay. All
water bottle.
Yeah. Baby bottle.
Duars. Duars.
Code.
No, you know when you're in a restaurant. You know when you're in a restaurant when you ask, hey, what kind of scotch do you have? And they go Dewars. You know. Yeah.
Right. Okay, back on track here, guys.
Yeah.
Because I charge by the minute.
There we go.
Yeah, I know. It's also you're also a very good host.
Right?
I know he's knocking out of the park, right? I'm totally blowing it. Go on. Okay.
So we talk about first and last in life, and as Chris said, as we get older, our first and last are more meaningful because we know there's a stop of this life as we know it eventually. Nobody's going to go on forever.
No one gets out alive.
With that being said, I come from a place, and I'm not looking for sympathy when I say this, but it's just a fact of life. I lost my little brother when he was 17 years old. He got electrocuted.
Wow. Oof.
I lost my sister when she was 45. She had a stroke, and we had to pull the plug. I lost my wife at 42. I lost my dad 4 months before my wife died from a heart attack. I knew the next funeral I'd be going to would be the woman beside me.
Wow.
I am not the same person I used to be. I'm more philosophical and more understanding. Unless somebody makes a mess.
It changed you.
Yeah, it did. It definitely did. Like I said, I have 3 people in the cemetery younger than me and my parents.
Wow. That's incredible.
So you can get through it. I'm an example of it. Is it easy all the time? Hell no. If everything would be easy, we'd all be driving Mercedes-Benz and money would just be flowing into our account and we wouldn't be working because it's easy, right?
We'd be healthy.
Yeah. Life is more what you make it and the obstacles you overcome and how you overcome them. Some people can never get all the way over the fence if they have an obstacle thrown in front of them. And some people leap over like a deer. They make it look so easy. But that's only from the outside. You can't tell what somebody's got in carrying with them on the inside.
That is so true. That's true. I have a mask on most of the time.
I do.
Yeah. But that's good. Those are really good words, Ed. That's true. No one really knows what we're really going through. No. And I think that's important for people to know.
No, I'm putting a list of life's keys together for my grandkids. Oh. And they're going to be simple one-liners, and then they can read into them from what I'm teaching. Because I'm fortunate enough, I have 2 stepchildren, and they gave me 3 grandkids, and I'm just loving every minute of it.
Cool. I would like to see those when you have them together.
The grandkids or the keys?
The keys.
Okay, the keys. Okay. Good yes, God. Me too. That would be great.
You can't take this guy anywhere.
You know how many times I've rolled my eyes today, Rod?
I can hear it. I feel it. I feel a great disturbance in the force every time you do.
You can't feel anything because you are into the douars.
Yeah, the douars. Actually, the black velvet today. It's toasted caramel is the drink of the day. So yes. It's very good.
Okay.
Anyway, Ed, thank you very much. This is great. Something tells me that we could do this some more. And I'm hoping that we can have you on again soon, that works into your schedule. I think
or later.
Great. Huh?
Or later.
We'll talk. I'll have my agent. You can get a hold of my agent.
Our people should talk to your people.
Have our people. Yeah.
There you go.
That's great.
So I guess, Ed, that means you and I are talking together.
That's right.
Because we're the people.
Oh, geez.
Okay, I know you run the control board in your studio. Do you ever mute his mic?
I don't. Just out of sheer morbid curiosity to see what's going to come out, but I can fix it later.
It's a mystery. It's always a mystery. Even I don't know what I'm going to say. I don't know it.
Cool. Ed, thank you not only for being on the show, but also for helping us see that this is an opportunity for us. It's something that we could possibly do. We really appreciate that.
Well, you're welcome. And like I said at the beginning of the show, I hope that somebody finds something they're looking for to latch on to of my experiences, your experience, so they can move forward in their life.
Bravo.
And
exactly.
I agree. I think that will happen. Absolutely. We'll let you know.
We will. So,
all right.
Awesome. Cool. All right. Thanks, Ed.
Thank you, Ed.
Hey, you're welcome. Have a good day, gentlemen.
You too.
Bye. Wow, what a fantastic show. I don't think we're done with Ed.
No, I love hanging with Ed. He's got such a wealth of knowledge, experience, and he is so good at articulating what his experience was. And, and I know there's a ton more of stories that I think are very interesting and actually very helpful. We definitely need to talk to him again.
I think we need to do Ed 2.0.
Yeah, I think so.
Because I in talking to him like in the gym and everything, he's always got a story.
Yes.
And he's good about it.
Right.
He's interesting.
He's not that guy that sucks you into the corner and like dominates the conversation. Right. And you're like, Jesus, hurry up, guy. Hurry up. It's always something that's worth listening to.
Well, I know he sasses me, but I think because we're similar.
Is that what you think?
I think that's part of it. I think a little bit.
I'll let you think that.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. You're generous.
I am a kind and generous person.
Indubitably.
Indubitably.
Like the chipmunks. Anyway, but no, I really look forward to talking to him again.
We filled 3 podcasts of his. And that was all totally different stories for the most part. There were some of the similar ones in the first episode, but the other 2 episodes we really went off into some other directions.
Right. So, well, I think in the next one with him, I want to explore the love after loss part I mean, like people need to know you do find love after loss, and it's okay. It's okay.
Yep.
The other question I know that you had was about the diagnosis, hearing the diagnosis.
Right.
What's the impact?
What shitstorm did that set off emotionally, physically,
Exactly.
process-wise, what life is going to be like, how do you tell everybody? And everybody deals with that differently.
Right. Like how did he deal with it? And something tells me he's got some stories about dating, moving ahead. You know, like what's that
moving
like?
Forward?
Yep.
Not moving on. You don't move on away from them. You move forward with their experience and that knowledge that you built with them.
Say it again.
So you don't move on, you move forward. You move forward with the knowledge and the experience that you gained from that person.
Right.
You never move on from them.
Because that's the one thing I have said to people that are grieving, that you never get over it, but it softens.
Exactly.
So that's the moving on.
Yeah.
Yep.
Moving forward.
That'll be a good show.
So, yeah, excellent. So, and I do have to say, wow, after our first episode aired, the amount of messages that we both received.
Yep.
It was overwhelming and really moving. Some of the stuff that I got from some people, I'm not going to share with you. But it was really touching, and we loved hearing it. So please,
and it wasn't
find
just
us.
Regional; it was international.
It was,
which was really
international,
cool,
which was really fun. So again, you can reach through my website at forwardwellness4caregivers.com. The word FOR, not the numeral. So forwardwellness4caregivers.com. My name's Chris Ward. You find me on Facebook.
Going forward.
Exactly. Exactly.
I'm catching on.
Yes,
finally.
you are.
All right.
So, and don't forget, we're Monday nights at 7:00 on Boomer X Radio.
Yes.
So awesome.
All right.
Thanks, guys. And we'll look forward to talking in your ear next week.
Absolutely. Good night. Hey, Chris, I think we had another good show tonight. I think we nailed it. I think we got knocked it right out of the park.
Yeah, Rod, this is our circus and we are our monkeys.
This is so true. I'm really looking forward to the next show. I don't know what we're going to talk about.
I am too, and I thought you were figuring that out, so I guess maybe I'll help you with that.
Let's talk about that. Absolutely. But I'm really looking forward to whatever we talk about. It will be hopefully it'll be helpful. And
it'll be fun.
It will be fun. So yes,
as
fun as grief can be.
Exactly. So do not miss next week.
No.